Big
back.
Talk.
Episode 12 on the
Big Talk, episode 12. We're here,
on the
outdoors.
wilderness.
We took a nice little bike ride over to the park. We're here enjoying the sights, enjoying the weather.
We're trying this out,
Enjoying the
something
vibes.
different, seeing how it works. Look at the time, 2:22. We started at the right time, so
Big vibes, man. How we feeling today?
good. A little bit, energy was a little bit like slow waking up today, but I feel like I picked it up a little bit more with the bike ride. How about you?
I felt good. I felt good upon waking up. I felt sore though. I was playing ball yesterday, ran some full courts, and that was a great workout, man. You know when you just feel your chest, your lungs opening up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was one of those workouts. So I did wake up a little sore today. So riding bike, he was behind me while we was riding bike, and I was going slow as hell. Like I feel like at that rate we would have got to like Uptown in fucking 3 days. I was going mad slow, but it's good though. It's nice to be out enjoying nature vibes, enjoying the weather.
Your boy's been, back in your game when you're athletic game.
Type
Start
shit,
working
yeah.
out.
I played ball twice this week. That was one of the things that I felt like was missing from like my vacation and shit like that. Whereas like, I know, and I started realizing more that like physical activity, physical fitness and stuff like that, that's one of the things that helps me be on point and
Like stay
really get
sharp
shit.
mentally
Yeah.
and emotionally and everything else. Like it's
Definitely.
really important. Yeah. I noticed that
those
too.
skills that you get from just like, for example, playing ball, like it's way deeper than what you think. Like you're dead ass, like you're putting yourself into something and your brain has to react really fast.
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's almost like an instant reaction and you have to do the right thing. So it's really like a brain, as well as being exercise for your body and shit like that, which is beautiful, is also exercise for your brain. And for me, I feel like I need that. I need that in my life type shit.
Nah, that's true, man. Besides that, what you been up to? And besides, these bugs over here biting my head and
My son
shit.
getting I'm not feeling them, man. Maybe they don't like me too
Look,
much today.
they be all over me. Getting mosquito bites and shit. I guess next time I'm gonna have to bring bug repellent.
Some bug repellent.
Cause this.
My boy got the gringo blood. That shit.
I don't know
Dominican
how.
or-
I was born in DR and like these mosquitoes, they choose me. I don't know why, but
Probably got to get some more sun. Maybe they're scared of the more brown skin. Cause right now, look at that. And I feel like naturally you're a little bit more darker than me, right?
yeah,
My shit, you can tell I've been in the sun a lot.
you look orange. You look like you was eating a lot of oranges.
I've been going to tanning beds and shit. Anyways, back to the topics today, man. So it's a beautiful day. We're feeling good. We decided to do something new today. Like we mentioned earlier, we rode up, shooting a podcast outside, and we just wanted to switch it up. I don't know how many podcasts do that. I mean, we always, like, for the most part, sometimes we'll do like a couple episodes in the same spot, and we'll go somewhere else. For the most part, we always switch it up. So it feels good to do this. Like this was an idea that you had. Like, I think you brought up one of the bike rides that we had going up, which we actually had Big Talk on that bike ride.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like, yo, what? Like, instead of us just like riding and talking, which we always do, it's like that could have been something that we put out as well.
Yeah,
so,
we just had to record it. We just had to get the setup ready.
to try to find ways, and he found some microphones that are like apparently really good when you're outdoors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's cool. We're trying this out, and hopefully
Making it
you guys
work,
like it.
Yeah, let us know how you guys feel about this episode. If you guys like the outsideness. Even if you guys are not watching the video, I feel like you guys are still gonna hear some of the, the outside noise. We by the playground, so there's kids playing, some water, a little pump is open. Beautiful summer day.
How you been enjoying your summer?
It's crazy, man. Like, I feel like New York City summers are so weird because it's like they start and then by the time you notice it's already midway, and then and I feel like that with this summer. I haven't really done much. But productively, I feel like I've done a lot of work, but I haven't done anything like summer related, besides maybe like hanging out with Heido in his crib, doing a barbecue. And, we're planning another one. So that's probably the most fun I've had, like, whole summer type shit, like summer activity. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't go to the pool, the city pool and shit like that anymore.
Yeah.
So, what else is there to do? Yeah. Like, I actually walked by there the other day, but I didn't see a lot of people. I don't know if it's open.
There's another one of those fucking,
Man.
what's that called?
Osprey gunner or some shit like that.
Osprey gunner?
Apache, I don't know. They
Big
huge,
ass
though.
like helicopter/plane looking things. I don't know what's going on over here. Hope they're not militarizing some shit. But yeah,
You know
no,
the
I
vibes.
feel like my summer's been interesting. Like you said, like New York summers usually feel like that. Like we don't get that long of a summer. You know what I mean? Like I feel like other places like
Yeah, yeah.
California will be lasting forever, or whatever it may be, just because they're nice all year long and stuff like that. Even
Yeah.
though they say that it gets cold during the night, but like we got what, a good 3 months. We got part of May, we got June, July, and we got for the most part most of August. But by the time it hits September, it starts, getting more towards the the fall
Yeah.
type vibe. And at the end of September and the beginning of October, that's when it's like, all right, back to winter. So
Yeah, right.
it
So it's
almost feels like once summer comes that you gotta grasp onto. You gotta really try to make the most of it. So for me,
Yeah.
like I've been making sure that when I do go out, it's like in the sun, I'm getting sun, because like there's part of the year that we're literally not, like, yeah, we're getting sun because like it's out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like we got our layers on. The only
That's
thing
so
getting
true,
sun
yeah.
might be like our face, and you're not gonna see any difference really. So like I feel like the sun got some good stuff to offer, aside from like UV rays and shit like that. But it got some little vitamins.
No,
you know
of course.
What I mean?
we're we're living on this planet, which was if it wasn't for the sun, none of us would have been here. None of the living things in the.
I've also heard, I haven't really looked into it, but like when you go into the sun, it's supposed to like regulate your I forgot what the word for it is, but like it's just like your system on like how
I think I heard that before.
how your, I think it's circadian
Yeah,
rhythm or something
or
like
I
that.
think it's like your hormones, like your feel-good hormones. I think you get like a better balance of that.
Yeah, and apparently like humans, like we're supposed to like work during the day, do our hunting, do whatever it may be, and then we work until the sun goes down. When the sun goes down is when you start winding down and you call it a night, so you can do the same thing. Apparently, like the sun is supposed to energize you and shit. So, I mean, it's cool to get on that, because sometimes late night vibes be wild
real.
sometimes. Like last night was actually the latest I went to sleep in a little while. Like I've been doing really good since coming back.
What time you want to sleep yesterday?
I want to sleep like I would say 3. It was closer to 3. I couldn't really sleep. I was on a nice roll yesterday when it came to everything I did. I woke up type early. I went over. I sent the package for one of the shirts on UPS. I mean USPS. After that, I went back home. I was stretching a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I did that too.
Later on during the day, I'm like, I saw that some guys in the building that were getting together to play ball, they were sending some emails. So they ended up being like 6 or 7 people, and I'm like, oh, they need one more for 4s. Let me, like, I was in the zone where like I wanted to stay home and like work on stuff, but I'm like, yo, like this may be nice to step out of my comfort zone. I never really go play ball alone with people that I don't know. So like
That's fire.
let me see how it is. So like like all that stretching that I was doing ended up coming up in handy, and I ended up going playing ball. Played there for like a couple hours, met some cool dudes. They're all good at basketball, so that pushed me to like, yo, I want to get better so I could continue to hang with people who are good at this stuff and be competitive. You know what I mean? So that, and then I got back home. We were gonna see if we shot last night. Turned out it would be better to shoot early today.
Yeah.
And then I started working on music. That felt wonderful. I felt like it's been a little while, like a week. It's been probably like 2 weeks since I really, more maybe, since I really sat down and started back on like my plans, back on like getting my video ideas, getting actually writing music. So it felt really good. It felt like I was like on some homecoming shit, like, oh,
you're like,
we
I
back.
get to do this and shit, like.
And I'm like, yo, again, tomorrow. The next day, I can't wait to
That's
do it.
fire.
Like, I feel like I got back to a balance where it's like, okay, doing the things that I need to do for my body, for my health and stuff like that, is also fueling what I have to do.
That's fire.
For my career and what I want to do with my life. You know what I mean?
That's fire, man. That's a good way to put it. I feel like that part of me is lacking a little bit, like in the fitness side, because I've always been like going to the gym and stuff. The most fitness I'm getting is honestly riding the bike, stretching, and just doing some push-ups. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of stretches, man, and that's why like I don't beat myself up too much. I'm like, at least I'm doing a lot of stretches. Like I'm stretching muscles that haven't been stretched since forever, because I didn't know like my body was so tight. And I'm figuring shit out as I go, and I'm feeling much better and stuff.
It's you that put me on with just like stretching in general. Like
Oh, really?
I always not every morning or anything like that, but like anytime I did like a sport, you know, they teach you to stretch before.
Yeah, you never liked that.
No, I did it, but it was more like, oh, I gotta do this. And
Yeah,
then,
nah, for me too, of
as
course,
a
yeah.
kid, you didn't really notice like why you were doing it, but
Yeah.
as you get a little bit older, you start seeing how your body starts reacting to stuff. It's not like when you were a kid
Yeah.
where you could be like, you could hop out of bed and play ball without even like
Yeah, right?
stretching, which we used to do. You know what I mean? But like now it's a little bit different, but it's really cool. Like you're literally the one that put me on with like all these different stretches and things you could do to relieve tension. And ever since you did put me on, it's become like a real big part of my life where it's like, yo, like there's another part of wellness. Like there's other parts when it comes to the eating,
Yes, I
which
agree.
is not even too fun, but like it's nice to get on a nice eating roll. When it comes to like actually doing the sports and stuff like that, and then the stretching is like, that's like almost like the equalizer, where it's like you have to be good in your body to
yeah.
be able to do any of these things and like actually recover and
recover
whatever
and
it may
have
be.
to just have the energy and feel good and all them things like tight muscles lead to headaches, lead to a whole bunch of stuff.
Yo,
So it's like,
sometimes you out and you feel some bullshit in your back. You're like, damn, what the hell? And that
Yeah.
kind of takes away from your experience of like
of course,
being
yeah.
present in that moment. With like, damn, like how do I get this? Where is this coming from? Or whatever it may be. And instead of like actually enjoying the moment. So that's a big part of like wellness and interacting and shit. Like living your life, like you.
nah, hell yeah.
So thank you for putting me on
Nah,
with,
it's true,
with
man,
stretching
but,
and shit like
you
that.
got to, and it's funny because you've always been more flexible than me. I'm like, so I thought you were like, you used to stretch, like, I was always like that. Like, I used to hate stretching. I used to like running, but stretching, I'm just like, I'm not flexible. Like, I grew up with that mentality, like, oh, I'm just not flexible. But it was maybe as a kid, I already had tight muscles, yeah.
Capoeira is what got me to get more flexible.
Yeah, capoeira, oh my God, I feel like we did capoeira like at the perfect time because I was going through a lot, like in terms of like, I was doing a lot of stuff and I was working and I couldn't imagine like the stress that I had going through that. So like that led to like tight muscles and stuff. And I remember Fuda used to tell me, the professor used to tell me like, you guys are hitting the weights and that's good and stuff, but you guys, if you're not moving, if you're not flexible, those muscles are tight, you're gonna be sore, like it's not gonna work. And I kind of like, I was a little bit confused about that. I'm like, well, maybe I can't move like this because I have a good amount of muscle here, so it makes it more difficult. But then I started seeing that like, I don't know if you heard of Kai Green, I think that's his name, the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
This guy is huge, but he's mad flexible. He's out here doing splits and shit. I'm like, how does a bodybuilder does that? So after that, I got over with that mentality that like, oh, if you have muscles, you're not flexible. Because that's always been a thing like in the fitness world. Like, or
like
you
they
can't
expect you to not be flexible.
Yeah, you can't stretch. Like you're gonna mess up the gains or something like that. Like, nah, man, that's nonsense.
That's interesting, man.
So that's why I haven't been beating myself up
It's
so
almost
much
limits
this year.
that people place on
right?
certain things.
Like I told you, like I grew up with that mentality, like, oh, I can't touch my toes. I'm not really flexible like that, so I'm just not flexible. And I'll try to stretch, and at the gym that shit will be uncomfortable. But now I'm like, I finally got to understand, like, yeah, like that's the point. Like it's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's when you try to relax your body and try to like just let go of that, and your body would, just kind of like reset on its own type shit. Reset those muscles at least, and you got to target another set of muscle later on and all that stuff.
I noticed through stretching as well, like I'm not hitting no weights. I'm not doing anything like that, but I noticed a change in my body where it's like through playing basketball, through riding my bike, and through eating a little bit better, juicing and shit like that, I noticed that my body is also like almost rewarding me with like looking better, you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
I remember,
of course.
this has been in my mind for the past week. I remember when we was in Miami in February, me and you had a conversation outside of where we were staying at, and we were just talking about like how our clothes, it was like a random conversation. We were talking about how our clothes fit us at that time, and we were both like I remember I was like, yeah, man, like I gotta do something about this, you know what I mean? Like I feel like even when I put like certain clothes on, the clothes that I like, it's not fitting me the way that I like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not feeling good about how it's looking and stuff, and we both had like agreed on that, and we were like, yeah, but we were both like, yeah, now we're gonna work on it though. We gonna get to it.
Yeah, we
and I
have
feel like
to.
now we ended up getting to a point just by putting that intention back then, and through
that's
probably
true, yeah.
plenty of other things. Like just by putting that intention, I feel like we both got to a spot where it's like, okay, we're being rewarded with health.
That's true,
From
man.
the things that we're doing towards our health, you know what I mean?
That's so true, and like how you said, like it does like give you like a more sense of like, okay, like you feel better about yourself, because the other day, like I woke up, I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow, I'm looking nice, like, and I slimmed down. Been doing a little bit of push-ups, so my chest muscles are building up a little bit more again, and I just looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I look great, I had a haircut, I had a fresh haircut. I'm like, let me do some push-ups. I started working out just because I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, might as well keep it going, but
And
you're right, man.
It's crazy 'cause it doesn't take much. It takes a certain type of intention. Like you do it when you feel like doing it. You know what I mean? But as long as you're doing the right thing, and all around, that's when you see all around health.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course, yeah.
Because like you could be hitting the gym crazy right now. You could be getting some crazy gains. You may not be eating well. You may not be doing no cardio or whatever it may be. Who knows? Like maybe a month, you take a month off, all that shit is gone. You know what I mean? So I feel like right now, I feel like for me personally, like I'm really digging into my health and actually making a change in my body. Because I notice like although I don't do much push-ups. I don't do much pull-ups. I don't do pull-ups at all. I don't do much ab workouts. I'm seeing a difference in my body through the way that I'm eating, the way that I'm living, the way that I'm riding my bike, the way that I'm stretching. Like it's almost like stretching is almost giving me a certain type of like muscle or whatever. It's wild, man.
Nah, it's true, man. I definitely feel. I know what you're talking about because I feel the same way too, like with that.
It's cool, man. Human body, like we mentioned almost in every episode now, human body is a beautiful thing.
Well, this man, you and your grounding, that's also another thing that plays into part. So.
Yeah, man.
What you did this weekend? Did you I feel like you was with your family. Did you go? You guys went to the beach or something like that, right? That should look dope.
So remember, I told you last episode that I was feeling like almost like I needed a vacation from my vacation because it was constant. So the weekend came and I planned out with my family like, yo, we're gonna go over to my sister's house and we're just gonna chill. Like it's always a chill vibe when we go there. Although I did want to go straight into work, I knew that there still had to be some relaxation that had to be done because that's what helps me as well. Like it may feel like a hit because damn, I'm not about to put all this work in that I want to, but I know that it's part of my health. Like we were just talking about part of my health. So we went over. Me and my girl went over. We chill, we had mad fun. The first day that we got there was kind of early, so we had some time to chill with the kids, some time to chill with my sister and my brother-in-law. We were playing this like DJ Hero game. That shit was mad fun. My sister is a beast at the DJ. That's a guitar game? Yeah, but it's with like a little DJ set.
Oh, that's fire.
It was mad. We had mad fun. My sister was busting everybody's ass, and I'm like, yo, the last game I got really close to like beating her, but nah.
Damn, she be practicing at home and shit?
I guess. So it was mad fun. We was vibing. Started watching. My bad. We started watching TV. By the time we started watching TV, it was like 12. I was out. I was dead by that time. So we ended up going to sleep like at that time. The next day we went to the beach. It was more like a lake. It was a cool vibe. My mom ended up coming that day.
I saw, yeah.
Cause she wasn't there, but she ended up surprising my sister, my brother-in-law, and the kids by coming. Cause my dad was already in the city. He picked her up. He brought her over.
Damn, so that's dope.
It was really nice to have her there. Cause the kids like they get so excited. Their grandma's there. You know what I mean? So it was so dope. And then for all of us to be together, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, and the kids, and me, my girl.
You got in
it was
the
like
water?
That whole familiar. Yeah, I went in the water. And we went to a fucking Cheesecake Factory.
Damn.
I love me some chocolate. We got mad cheesecake.
You got chocolate wasted.
And then that night, I cooked for everybody. I made some salmon, and I made some spaghetti with broccoli. And then my brother-in-law made some garlic bread. We had a crazy meal. Everybody loved it. After that, we was just chilling. My mom ended up staying. She had to work the next day, but she was like, nah, I'm gonna call out.
Nice.
I'm here with the family. So we stayed that night. Next day, during the daytime was when we left, but we had like a fun ass weekend. And it's what I needed, man, cause like when I first got there, I was dead. I was tired. I didn't get that much sleep the night before, and I had some stuff to do with like sending out packages like that.
Yeah.
So I was tired, and I was kind of like, I was spent that first day, but I was still having fun. Next day, a little more energy. The next day, more energy. So it's almost like I went there to recharge with the love of my family because, man, everybody's chilling. Yeah. And everybody just, like, wants the best for each other and wants to have fun and wants to, spend time.
Isn't it interesting, like, I felt like that's something similar that we talked about in the last episode that, like, like I told you, like, sometimes it's good to just go see your family for a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, like, it's something about it. You do recharge, like, because it's like, we spend all these hours looking at stuff through social media and just like, seeing negativity and a whole bunch of stuff. And it's easy to fall into that and think that, that's reality. And this reality is not. Like, reality is me going uptown, chilling with my sister, my aunt is there, and like, we're just talking, asking how, how's the rest of the family, this and that, and just chilling, like, noticing that, like, we don't have to do anything. Like, you know, it's not like it don't gotta be complicated for us to have a good time, or we don't gotta like agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. You just gotta go there and, like you said, just recharge and just be around family. That's just brings everybody up from there on.
It's an easy way to let go being with family, because you want everybody to be happy. You want to be happy. So everybody just there to make everybody happy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And not in a people pleaser type of way, but it's more like, okay, we're here together. We're all family. We have no motives to hurt each other.
Like,
Now it's like, okay, now let's just do whatever it is that's gonna be fun. Just hang out with the kids. The kids are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can learn so much from the kids.
Yo, kids bring families together if you think about it, because, you know,
sure.
like you said, like, you know, grandma pulls up, grandpa pulls up, you know, you got uncles, cousins, and all of that.
Yeah, man.
It's important, man.
Shout out family. Shout out my family. Love
family
y'all.
and kids. You know, we got a bunch of kids over here playing.
Yeah, we're literally in front of a park. I hope people don't think that we're recording their kids or nothing. But the camera's pointing towards us.
The opposite way, so we should be good. There was some dogs up here. Oh, now we got some birds. Great.
We got a bunch of pigeons.
Oh, me a
Welcome
bird.
to New York. There's definitely some beautiful spots in New York, man. There's a lot of beauty here. It's not nothing to like. How would I say? It's no dramatic views, like no cliffs and stuff like that. Maybe up north or something like that. But yeah, in the city, there's a lot of beautiful buildings. There's grassy areas. You could always find some place to find your peace. Like some people feel like, oh, New York is all hustle bustle, all crazy.
Yeah.
But if you look into it, you'll find places that'll help you find some peace.
Right, to like disconnect and stuff like that. And it's true, because like sometimes you gotta not search for them, but like, you know, you gotta know where it's at. Like if you're in the middle of the city, like all businesses, everything, like you might find a park, you might get turf, a little garden, but you gotta like step out a little bit further, you know, go to like the sides where people are like not usually, like, you know, like how we be going uptown or to Inwood.
Yeah.
Been to parts that I hadn't been there in years. Some of the parts I'd never even been there when you took me. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, and it brings a certain type of peace. It's like a natural sanctuary for you to
Fix your
just
mind,
do nothing. Just do nothing but connect, you know?
Fact. What you got planned for the rest of the day?
Today, my girl's coming over, make some dinner, and I'm gonna take today as a work day. Although I would like to, you know, it's a beautiful day. I would like to make a walk or something like that. But I know that I also gotta continue on with, you know, building my routine of like work. This is part of my work for today as well.
Yeah.
But just continue on with my routine, and then also make time for spending quality time with my girl. Oh man, big news. I don't know if I wanted to mention it on Big Talk. I was gonna tell you, but since we on Big Talk, I might as well tell you.
What kind of big news is this?
Yo, moving in.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Shit, that's fire, man. Congrats when you guys figure it out.
Yo.
When y'all like.
I was crying like a baby without even knowing that she finally agreed to moving in.
Oh, really?
So she told me that it is not a secret that I could tell people, but I'm not gonna tell them the full details of it.
That's fire.
But so she had made a slideshow of all the pictures that we took from the beginning of our relationship to now. And just in the beginning of the video, like the first two pictures, I just started crying. I was bawling.
Really?
I was crying.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, wow. And then at the end of it, she said, let's move in together. Like it was some like text, and it said, let's move in together. And for the video, there's a song playing, and she's singing along to the song. So like also her stepping out and like of her comfort zone and doing that. And the message of the song, I was just crying like a fucking baby. And then at the end, I saw that, I'm like, yo, what?
That's
so
fire.
she finally made. I've been telling her to move in with me for a while now.
Damn,
for a
congrats.
few months, yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels awesome. She's not moved in yet, but just to know that she made the decision to do it, it's like, wow, like it's gonna be a next step, and it's gonna be a new challenge that I'm willing. Every time I already know, every time that I take on a new challenge, whether it be moving out of my mom's crib, some place that I'm so comfortable with, like moving out of my comfort zone has always brought great things into my life.
It's like a leap, a huge amount of positivity that just come through.
And who better to do that with than the person that I plan to spend my life with, you know what I mean?
That's true, man. Yo, shout out.
I love you, girl.
So shout out to his girl.
Yeah.
My voice girl. Shout
I think he's choking up. He's like, shout out to his girl. But yeah, man, that's been a huge.
I gotta talk from down
your
here.
diaphragm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a huge positive that's been going on now. she's been such a huge help, and we've been helping each other just with like what we do around the house, and been very open to like growing with each other.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest reason, if not one of the biggest reasons, why I even told her that she should move in, because I started noticing like our communications, we started communicating more, and then through us communicating more, there was also more, more clashes,
right?
you know what I
Yo.
mean? But
No, yeah, keep going.
yeah. But through working through it, I started seeing like I remember one of the first times that it happened was I told you during the big talk where we were sitting outside and like some clashes happened, and then right afterwards we were just flowing, and it was amazing. So I started noticing like, wow, like we could really bring our relationship to where it is that we want it to be, which is like how we interact with each other and how we vibe with each other. We could really bring it to the next level. So I'm like, oh, if we have more interaction with each other instead of just, during the weekend or whatever it may be, then that could bring us to a point where we really start understanding each other and really push each other to continue to grow, because that's such a close bond when you're with somebody. Like that relationship, you're with each other for so long and stuff like that, and you really start to know the ins and outs. So if we could help each other to also push each other and whatever it may be, like in life, man. Like that can only bring great things to us.
It's a mastermind, man. You guys got a mastermind going on.
Exactly, yeah.
No, that's great, man. That's great. But how you were saying, like, yeah, like, I feel like so many people, they kind of like shy away from that. This is something I went really deep. Excuse me. I went really deep when I was talking. It's funny because I talked about this with my girl too, like over this weekend when I went to visit her. I was talking to her about that, like how like sometimes like we fear to just like, and I'm using it as like from a man's perspective. That's at the end of the day, I'm a man. So like sometimes we kind of not fear, but like we don't give ourselves like 100% to that person that like that we're with in a relationship. And like it wasn't like until like I started noticing that like you really gotta. That's the only way. Like just how you said, like we noticing that we're clashing every time we spending some more time together. But that's the way to grow. That's how you guys are figuring stuff out. That's how you guys are learning more about each other. Mm-hmm. But I just I noticed that like, and I told her, I'm like, I noticed that until like you don't make a decision like as a man to like really say like I'm all in for this. If you don't make that decision, it's never gonna continue to grow and just get somewhere else. It's always gonna stay there at like some kind of like some gray area.
Yeah. It's also like distractions. Like sometimes you just may be distracted with certain things. You know what I mean? Like whether it be like you want to put more stuff on your plate, whether it comes to like work or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So that may take away from like certain energy you put into other things.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you see, I feel like that's what
we have the capacity though for everything.
That's what helped me a lot. Like kind of finding that like noticing that I had to do that, because like I like the other shit that I do on the side, like it's a lot of these things is like you said, like, and you're noticing now, like if you don't really put your drive and everything into it, it's not gonna work. So it's like, do you really want to have more juggling a whole bunch of stuff and not being in a good healthy relationship at the same time? Not really. I don't want none of that. Like I want to be able to have a healthy relationship while maintaining everything that I do on the side, family and friends and all that too. I feel like at the end of the day, it all goes back to just you as a person in general, understanding that like you can't just I always tell you, like you can't cheat the hustle, and it's all a balance. Like sometimes we do shit that gets us a little bit sidetracked, and just how in life we get sidetracked from fitness, health. It's all about bringing it back, bringing back to that center and knowing where we want to go for and shit. Aim.
Yeah, man. It's also I feel like it's also a great thing to like go through certain things, because the only reason why I for me personally, the only reason why I know where I don't want to be is because I was where I didn't want to be, or whatever it may be, and now I know the signs of where not to go, whatever. Like you can see the road better because you went down the road before. So now, were you gonna continue to go down a certain road that is not what you want, or you're gonna go down a road where you may have never even been through that it has so many blessings for you?
That's
so
so true,
for me, like for just in general, I might like not even talking about this relationship that I'm in now, but relationship that I've been before, or whatever it may be. Like sometimes you do the same shit over and you're not even noticing. So it's like, oh, for this one, let's do something a little different and let's see where it goes. And it's and different in terms of like actually be more present and be really start to notice the signs, the signs around you, where it's like what's the right thing, and luckily for me, I don't even have to worry about the person that I'm with in terms of like, is she the one or is she the person? Like because all she gives me is the good signs. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
nah, that's so true.
like
man.
this is a amazing woman. She comes from an amazing background with the people who raised her and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. It's just like, and at the end of the day, like maybe the reason why other shit didn't work out is because maybe that person that I was with wasn't ready either, and me too.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like everything is just a build up. You get that experience to know what it is that you're looking for, and know what it is that you want, and know who it is that you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why like it's so important. Like that's why it's so important to be upfront with each other, especially like from the get-go. Like when you start meeting a person or like as friends or whatever, just be nothing but yourself to that person.
And you gotta be fluid too, because.
What's up? Nah, my bad.
But also, what I say is that you also gotta be fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas like, let's say you meet somebody. Let's say you meet a girl, and you don't even necessarily know who she is completely, but let's say you continue to be the person that it didn't work out with the last person. You know what I mean? Where like you did shit that like you shouldn't have done or whatever it may be. Let's say you continue on that route. You're not necessarily being fluid. What you're doing is you're just continuing the same cycles instead of being a better version of yourself. And I don't know how many people out there actually, I guess you could say, do that, whereas like they really self-audit themselves. Like we were talking about in the Fitness Cat episode, where it's like, okay, that didn't work out this time. Let's try this. You know what I mean? Like that's a great thing, to be fluid and to be like not scared to change
having that
things about yourself.
So,
like letting go of shit that doesn't matter about yourself no more. Shit that is not gonna help you. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's a skill that'd be good for anybody to have.
Yeah, and it's like, we talk about these things like, to you guys, like, to our friends, we talk about these things, but it's like, we're not perfect, bro. Like, we're figuring it out. But we're noticing, like, and we notice, like, okay, like, the way this was done or the way we used to do this is not the right way. It's not the way to think. It's not the way you want to go, because it's like, it just leads to certain things and, like, certain decisions and whatever. But like, yeah, we're basically just figuring it out, and this is what we do. We like share our experiences, and that's how we find. And ironically, like sometimes when you go through something, I'm going through the same thing, or I'm talking about the same thing in my relationship. Like you see how you were saying,
happened
like,
a few months before, a few months after, whatever it may be.
And it's crazy, but it's like it's weird, but the universe works in mysterious ways, bro.
But that's where it's awesome to communicate and to share with each other. That's what this is essentially. Yeah,
if we don't do this, like we don't share these type of things with each other, like we're not gonna be open to share with anybody else. Like,
and we're not necessarily gonna be open to getting the answers for what it is that sometimes you feel like you may not know what to do next or whatever, but like you put yourself in situations, you share, and just as you give, you get back something. You know what I mean? So
you share, but you also ask, and you tell yourself if you're confused, if you don't know the answer for something, you could tell yourself, like, and it's gonna sound corny, but you will get the answer. Like the shit will come to you. Like you just have to ask, and you just be upfront. Be
patient too, man, because it may not happen in a day, it may not happen in 2 days, but
that's such a big thing that I've been noticing. Like the last few, this is a pattern that I've been seeing. Like when I do sessions or in my studio, like work with artists or like in the other studio, I noticed a trend where like not a trend, but it's just like a few kids, like especially the younger generation. They're so impatient, like, they want instant gratification. Like, they're so used to the instant gratification. And I don't blame them, because it's like, everything that we got on and how they grew up, they've been set up, like, to be...
That's like the programming right now.
That's the program. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's so crazy to me that, like, they'll come in, they'll work, for example, they'll work on some music, and they want to show it right away. And it's like, you just recorded the first take, like, relax, like, like, it's awesome that, like, I feel great that, like, you're excited, but, like, imagine how excited you will be if you actually, like, just focus on this and forget about your phone. Like, drop your phone for now, finish this, let's do this well, and then, like, like, it's just that thing. It's like, it kind of sucks, because it's like, wow, like, I'm seeing it on that area, because that's the field that I work in. Like, imagine how many other areas, like you say, like, a lot of people are being impatient about, like, a business is not taking off. You're not finding the right person. Like, that you really gotta have patience. And it's like, but you also gotta audit yourself. Are you one of the persons that, like, is too hooked to instant gratification? And it's okay to be honest, because like we all get it at some point. Like I take
Yeah.
Instagram breaks. I do like social media breaks or whatever when I feel like I've been on it for too long. It's just we've been programmed for that. So
I feel like what we do is almost like when it comes to being an artist, when it comes to doing this podcast, when it comes to doing a lot of stuff that we do, it's almost like the ultimate test of patience.
Yeah.
Because we didn't start doing this last year. Like in terms of like music and being an artist and sharing our shit like that.
yeah, bro. Like
We didn't start last year. We didn't start 5 years ago.
yeah, hell no. Bro. Like,
We've
this
been
shit
doing this for quite some time. You know what I mean? And it's like
hella long.
for any person who is looking for that instant gratification, this might not be. Although there's these people who get popping off of their first song, but that's like one in a jillion or whatever it may be, which is cool.
Yeah.
But what I feel like what we're building right now is much more than just this one-off thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Through us making music, through us speaking, through us doing all this stuff, brings the next idea, and we're building an actual thing. Building a podcast is as all part of that. Shooting our videos, we literally have everything in the house.
Everything, bro. And it's like that shit took a long time.
That shit
and
took.
it's still taking. Like it's not like we nowhere like
paying attention to the signs as well.
Yeah.
Back to that, paying attention to the signs where it's like, oh shit, I can't find somebody to do this. Now we're doing this.
Now we gotta figure it out. Nah,
Like,
it's true, man.
It's the ultimate test of patience, man. Because if you're not patient with this shit, then you're not gonna catch the signs, and then you're gonna continue doing the same shit, and the same shit is gonna continue to not work out because the universe is showing you what you should be doing, and you're not taking it seriously.
And the thing that happens when you're not patient is that after you notice, like, oh damn, like I've actually been slacking off. Like, let me get back into work. Now you have a whole bunch of energy that you drive into. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's plan this. And then what you notice is that energy dies off. Like how we be saying, like we're the type of people that we've been we in it for the long run. Like we really been taking it step by step. We never the type of we get it from time to time, that boost of energy that like okay, we working on, like right now we're working on your project and shit, like I'm excited and shit, like we're recording new songs, mixing new songs. The sound is sounding different, like you doing different things. So I'm like shit, I'm excited. So we got the energy going for it. But what I'm saying is like we're not the type of person that like we put the energy and then we stop, we die down. Like we've always been, even if like we stop for a little bit because we got other things going on or circumstances or whatever, we're still working in the background type shit. And that just like, I'm just basically telling you guys like it's a lot of patience in this shit. It's not like, a lot of times I might not, it looks like I'm not working. I've been working the whole day. Like, I just don't post nothing. Like, it's like I get tired. I'm like, I got my little close friends or whatever, and I'm like, I show them like, I'm working on some music. Yeah. But it's like even that, I get tired. Like I don't want to post, the same shit again and again. But it's just patience, man. You guys really got to put in the time and shit. You can't cheat the hustle at the end of the day. Nice. And I feel like that's the theme of this episode. You can't cheat the hustle, whether it's in relationship, fitness, being patient, business goals, everything, bro.
It all came full circle. And on that note, if you had to give one piece of advice to the viewer right now, watching this at this moment, at this time, in this planet, on this part of the universe, what piece of advice would you give them?
I already said it, man. But yeah, just to piggyback off that, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, just being patient, but also being kind to yourself and knowing that, I feel like that's really important. The self-awareness is so important. I feel like when I realized that I was self-aware and I gave myself that credit, like, yo, I know the things I want to fix. And looking back at it, I've always been self-aware because like when I had to make a decision where going, for college, whether it was going to a music school or going to a shift for accounting, because the logic behind that was, for accounting was like, there's always going to be jobs in accounting.
Yeah.
But then when I was given the decision to make and pick, I told myself like, no, wait, like I've been doing music for a few years and I enjoy this. I'm more curious to find out more about this than fucking accounting. Like I hate math, like, so fuck that. So, I went with that decision, but it's just giving yourself the credit and noticing that like you always been self-aware and like, it's something that you always work on, but just, keep doing it and you'll be good with the patience, self-awareness and all that stuff. You'll be golden. How about you? What you got for this?
I'm gonna piggyback also. I'm also tap in and see if I get anything new. Relax. Relax is what popped in my mind. That's what I wanted to say earlier. When we were talking, it popped in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my piece of advice. relax. Relax because you could always get hype at any moment. Right now, I could be the most chilled person in the world. Sun pops up, I'm up and I'm at it. I got all the energy. But when you relax, you give yourself the time to recharge. We were talking about earlier, going over to my family's place. Relax, man. Like, don't worry. If you relax, you're still, in any moment, you can still turn it back on. It's there, and I feel like this also piggybacks on what I said last episode. But it really that's what life is. Life is all connected. We're all connected. So relax, because you're gonna allow yourself, which is where the power is in yourself. You're gonna allow yourself to recharge. You're gonna allow yourself to continue to peep the signs. Because if you're just like people who drive and fucking drive crazy, they might miss their stop, they might, whatever. If you're in that vibe all the time, like that shit is useful sometimes, but if you're in that vibe all the time, you don't find a moment to relax and to ease the tension, to stretch, whatever it may be. Sometimes I can't stretch because I gotta go here, whatever. Like earlier when we were on the bike ride over here, I told him like, I didn't get to stretch before coming, so I'm gonna stop real quick and I'm gonna stretch. I ended up stretching like halfway by the time we got here. And I had to take that moment of myself, know that he'll probably be understanding that we gotta stop, because he has some shit to do today too. So like, understand that, like, I also know that he'll be understanding, and bro, just take that moment to relax. No matter what, take that moment to relax, because that shit's gonna be so helpful in the long run.
And you're gonna get the answers, like you said, like the signs and the answers, they're gonna flow much better, like, you know, they'll come to you, like, you know. And when I say answer, I don't mean no spooky shit, like, but I mean, like, you know, when I was starting my business and then when I wanted to quit the 9 to 5, I asked myself questions, what can I do to, like, get there? And, like, that's what led to me today. And there's nothing spooky about that, because it's fucking tangible, like.
It's life.
I'm living up for this, so it's like, and that's life, it's true, man. But yeah, but with that, I think we go for this one.
Episode 12, my brother.
Episode 12, the first one outside, so, like, let us know if you guys, you know, if you guys rock with the vibe. We'll try to take advantage of the, damn, look at that, B. We're trying to take advantage of the weather, if you guys like these episodes and stuff, and do some more.
Some natural vibes for y'all. I love you guys. See you on the next one.
Peace out, guys.